How to learn After Effects effects. Okay, so After Effects has so many effects that if you even tried to learn all the effects, there would still be the fact that there are effects that can go on effects, right? So now you have not only a list of effects, but effects that affect other effects. The best way I've found to just like sit down and learn some of this stuff is like if you go and make a 1920 by 1080. Okay? Let's do something like this. First off, let's put a few things into place. One, let's make a new layer and just throw a gradient down and then go filter, noise, add noise. And use monochromic and just put some noise in there. Okay? Call that noise. Okay, next one. Make yourself a gradient. Okay, the gradient could be just black and white. It could be starting out from the center out, just like that. Perfect. Okay, next one. Text. So throw down a text layer. Make this rather big. So go in and go like this if you wanted to, just to have the text as large as you want. Okay, next, make yourself a 3D object. New 3D from shape, and I would just put maybe a ring or cube or something like that. Here's a wine bottle even. Okay, so now you got this 3D object. Perfect. So now you have an example of everything that you might need. Maybe even a solid here. For maybe the background, unlock that one and give yourself a solid. Maybe a green, that way you can explore green screening. It also would help to have something that's combined. So let's take the green and then we'll take the text, copy that, drag that down, and the text will just make black. And then you can hit Control E and it would drop it down onto the green. So there we go. We have a little bit of everything in this file. Now make sure you label it well. So there we go. And 3D wine. Alright, now when you're done, just go ahead and save this out. Call it the combo. Make it a PSD file. And that way when you're going into After Effects, you could just load that in. And things you should definitely explore are your blurs, your sharpens, your generators. Those are just mandatory, but just by watching a bunch of YouTube videos on how to do some of this stuff isn't necessarily the best way to learn. it's really nice to just sit down and experiment yourself. And I'm just going to throw down a composition in here. And I'll double click that composition. Here we go. So now I have it all. I'll say fit to 100%. And now I can shut these off. And I'll give you an example here. So this text layer, I can go in and maybe sample out my blurs. There's a lot of blurs to go through here. What do they all do, and what's the difference between them? I mean, you have the box blur, and if I plop that down on my 3D text or on my regular text here, you'll find that it blurs. Yep, blurs good. But the box blur does a really nice thing where it can lock it to the horizon, so I can go like this and get these really cool effects. So I can key that if I wanted to. And if you're the type of person that explores based upon reference, well, here's a great way to do that. So I can rename this box blur. Okay. And then I could key it if I wanted to. And that would give me a reference to what box blur is. I don't know what type of learner you are. It's just one of those things that if you're really interested in learning this stuff, just sit down, trim the comp, key something, and learn. Box blur. So in this case, blur radius would be BAM. And then maybe back again. See, that's a really cool effect. And when you space this out, you'll get it. Great for title sequences, if you think about it. Alright, now that we have one, let's go to another video and I'll show you some more examples of this experimentation that you should be doing with these effects.